So now we're finally ready to get on with the meat and potatoes of Mattertime. First, it's really important to realize that the deep, dark space of reality is at the very root of all of the wonderment that we have. And Mattertime is what addresses that particular wonder. Indeed, there are two very prevalent and very deep rabbit holes that we have to first cover because they are one of the main reasons for the resistance to any kind of a Mattertime decay philosophy. The first rabbit hole is the notion, often referred to as Zeno's paradox, that there's an infinitely divisible time and space all around us, that we can never break into discrete chunks. However, in Mattertime, time and space are merged from discrete causal sets that have large numbers but are nevertheless discrete and finite. Second, the rabbit hole is the notion of relativity that does not include quantum phase. What I refer to as Schrodinger's phase decay paradox. Quantum phase is absolutely essential for quantum theory, but does not seem to have a meaning in the relativity of gravity. Once again, quantum gravity only emerges from the discrete causal sets that form quantum phase decay. So, with the proviso and a warning about those deep, deep rabbit holes that are so pervasive in time and space, the first thing we have to recognize is that it's things that happen that matter. And those are the things that make up the universe. In essence, things that happen, like the oscillation of matter with quantum phase, just happens. We accept the things that happen, and then we try to figure out what's going on with reality. When matter oscillates in phase with other matter, a bond will happen. When matter oscillates out of phase, a conflict or a scattering event will occur. So the very first thing that we need is some kind of an understanding of the origin of the universe and where it's eventually heading, its destiny. Given the origin and destiny, the path that we're on is essentially the reason that we're here, the reason that everybody's here, the reason all matter exists. So in Mattertime, instead of the universe being this expanding thing from an instantaneous point, instead of that paradigm, Mattertime is a much more ordered pulse of reality, and that pulse simply goes away and then reappears in time. So this figure shows how the universe, instead of expanding from a point of discontinuity, is simply in a process of contraction, and the universe changes. The change of the universe corresponds to the change that we see in matter all the time. The universe changes are more or less what gravity is all about. The local changes are what quantum is all about. And so we see now once again the core idea of a discrete causal set that undergirds reality, not an infinitely divisible time and space, but rather a causal set where one element is related to another. This Hasse diagram is a classic example that shows how the progression of causality, the causal relationship between elements, manifests itself in the transition from the creation of hydrogen to creation of stars to the creation of galaxies. In fact, a very favorite philosopher of mine, Ludwig Wittgenstein, has a little bit to say about the fact that every well-founded notion or idea has at its base a completely unfounded idea or notion. So you need a starting plate, an axiom, something that you simply believe in, and that is the way that reality is. Once you have that, then you're finally able to form very much more stable ideas. And so you see, that's why I started this whole series talking about the notion of a Mother Earth as matter, Father Time as action. Talked about emotion and the need for motion and how that leads to choice, and how choice is really the fundamental aspect of consciousness. So we have to be able to believe in certain fundamental aspects of reality in order to build up that reality into a sensible idea. And this Hasse diagram shows you how memories are related. Our childhood memories to adolescent to adult is a coarsely refined example of a causal set, which is the causal set that really drives consciousness in our life. Now, with these simple ideas of matter time, we next will, Mattertime 6, we will discuss more of the dichotomy of force, charge, and gravity, and what that means for physical reality.